one window here, so then you can open directly. There is no issue. Just try to log in here. Today I will just create the simple. Just I'm creating the new folder so that if you want to create a folder, then you need to connect in your Informatica repository for folder creation or anything. You log in here and just create the folder. Go in folder structure. Ritika, you understood, na? If any question, you can just ping me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like creating the folder and just giving the name Informatica training. Here is some options like OS profile kind of thing, not best use the default. Permission I admin, default will be admin by creating this one, right? Folder is already created. If you see, notice here Informatica training batch, right? And just open in your designer and just reconnect again, right? Going to disconnect the repository, and if you reconnect, your folder will be visible here.
Okay.
The folder is visible here. All structure by default will get it, like business components, source, target, queue, dimensions, transformations, maplet, mapping, user defined function, right? So these things will automatically come. So first, when suppose any requirement comes from the business, business said that there is my requirement, I need to populate, pull the data from that server. There is the server source is the infra source. That is the source is relational database, is Oracle database. So that data pull the data and store in our data warehouse for our just normal. He give not given any logic behind this. I just given that pull the data and they store in our data warehouse. So today I will explain just a simple mapping. How to suppose if any requirement comes like this, you need to pull the data simply whatever data there in source, and that data you need to pull your target, right? So first things I go there in
Quick
source.
question. So like when these requirements come, usually like in real-time scenario, how are these like multiple workflows or tables, or what kind of requirement comes?
Suppose you are working on agile methodology, right? So the business given the requirement through Jira. So suppose a requirement comes, there are two or three types. Two types. First is either is the main from scratch development. Suppose all modules. Suppose here is the more folders, right? Your organization is going on, means running everything, and some information development already done, whatever Informatica already using past 2-3 years, right? So one requirement comes some modifications like new changes, new logic, or new additional new field adding by source team. Then you need to populate that columns in your data warehouse. So suppose any new column added in as source, right? In your any Oracle database by source using a ERP, we are pulling the data from ERP systems, right? So suppose any just I'm taking example in finance. Finance is using added one column, that is the text descriptions, right? A business said the source is adding the text description column in source. That column you need to populate in your data warehouse. So what your requirement? then you go first you do the analysis where is actually impacted the particular that table. If business, if source is added for the one column in particular that table, and that table each where is actually impacted in our data warehouse. You your first is first thing you need to analysis. Just check the impact analysis, means where how many mapping, how many workflow is impacted if source is added the column, right? Once you got your done your analysis, then you inform your business that there is impacted, there's two workflow is impacted and they will require to change in particular that table, and approx 2 or 3 days required to development and 1 day is required to UT, right? So
Okay.
based on that, your business or your lead will add it in Jira like 3 or 4 days timing. Just keep as a buffer and share with you, right? After that, you start your development. Then you open your workflow mapping, existing mapping, and just coordinate with your source team. You once he done the changes in the existing tables, then you need to uh, import that table in your source, right? Because there is two options. Suppose he added the column in source, you can create the manually, edit manually in your database in your Informatica level, or simply you can import that table and replace them, right? Here, suppose you your requirement comes like this. Click on, if there is a source, right? So I'm going to similarly go there and infra source like this. Use the infra source as a user. So similarly, you use the okay. Here, if you notice here, multiple table. I want to import the employee table only, right? So you click on here and click OK. So similarly, you import that table. Once that table is comes here, then you go your mappings. If already that mapping exists, then you go there in mapping and uh, uh, link the your ports. That is your existing requirement, modification, customization works. But suppose the business said my requirement is actually there is some employee table in source. I need to populate that data in our your our data warehouse. So that is the requirement. In another requirement. So what your step on that? You need to populate, you need to go there in your source and import that table as a fresh and go in mapping and create the new mappings, right? Just give the name, everything given by the business name, mapping name, whatever, right? So you don't worry about, you write your own name. Business given everything, what is the structure, how what is our how our code structures, right? How your naming convention of mapping name work, so that if anyone can see that there is no any, because you develop if most of every developer have own names, right? Own concept name, but we are not using that. Everything is documented. Suppose most of the company using like this, em is small mapping name, and just typing the name like pop loading em load data, em load emp data, kind of that name I created, right? Now go in source. There is source is your schema name also populated, and there is employee table, right? You populate here. Just click with mouse and sorry. Okay. Just right click and open here. Your structure will come here like a source qualifier automatically. If you populate the pull the employee table from your source table in your mapping designer, right? Your all table, everything will come. And once you click here, your source qualifier, you can write everything here in query and everything, right? If you want to, there is SQL query come first tab is SQL query. You can write here the SQL query. If you want to pull only employee name, employee number, name, job, only 3 column, then you can write here select employee name, comma e-name and comma job from EMP table. That's it. If you want to populate everything without any logic, without nothing, then you can keep as it is. It will be populate accordingly, everything automatically. But yeah, if you need to filter out something, second option is join. Suppose you want to join from 2 tables, right? Then you can use the join here. There is 2 options. Either write the query in SQL query first tab, like as your Oracle, how you write the query in Oracle. Similar, you can paste here, or you can want to filter out like you you don't want to write complete column and everything. Then you can add another table and use the join condition. Suppose I want to join from EMP on department table. Then here you can write here the EMP department name. Suppose just I'm going there. So how what is the common? Uh, there is employee tables, right? I want to join. There is the department number. If you want to join that table from department number, then you can use this one, department number to department main tables. If you want to join, so that time use the defined joint user defined joins. Third is actually source filter. Source filter you can apply if you want to filter particular one department or anything you want to filter out. Then that time you can use the filter. Number of sorted port you can leave as it is. But yeah, if you want to use this one also you can how many port you want to sort it. But yeah, by default we are using 0. We are not sorting here because it will take some time as a performance issue. Okay. Hmm. Now there is a tracing level. There is normal ver verbose initialization, verbose data. Suppose if found out any issue, you want to just create the log in more details, then you can change. But this one is used only for debugging perspective, not for always. Normal will use as a process perspective, always keep as a normal. Now distinct, suppose you want to remove the duplicate things, then you can click here, distinct. If you're not using in query distinct option, so then you can click here as a distinct. Then all your data will be, all your duplicate record will be removed from here. Now pre and post SQL. Suppose you want to write any pre SQL, then you can write here some query. And if you want to write the post session, then you can write here your post SQL. But yeah, mostly we are using the SQL query and join and the source filter here from the source qualifier always for the processing. Got it? Any questions, Ritika here?
No.
I'm just using the simple mapping so that you can just visualize the whatever how to populate the data, simple data. Then you can start the logic behind this, build the logic. So I go there in expression transform. This one is the expression transformation. Transformation. Actually, we are using by mostly in most of the mapping we are using the expression transformation because that one is the actually uh, everything there means if you want to calculate anything, you want to write, multiply, whatever you want to there, you can do the expression transformation. So more that expression transformation is the common transformation where we are using in most of the mapping. So I want to populate
So
that.
Rajiv, can you repeat that? Your voice was breaking.
Hello. Yeah. Now is okay.
Yeah.
Uh, there is one cursor. If you want to pull all column, then you can right click here, select all, and then if here just mouse, right click and just drag and drop. So all column will come here, right? We are on actually on expression transformations, right?
Can you tell me again the expression transactions?
Yeah. Actually, expression transformation. Why we are using expression transformation? Because if you want to calculate, if you want to use means write any calculation inside, right, by your own calculation, then you can use the expression transformation. Most of the mapping using the expression transformation, because that one is suppose if you want to my requirement is what? My requirement is actually I want to populate the employee data from our from source to target. That is our my requirement, right? But what how you design that mapping? Always my requirement is nothing any calculation here, right? But our but based on that, always use the expression formation in between if you are going to connect your source to target. Don't connect directly from source to targets. So in between, I use the expression transformation because suppose your employee numbers incoming in decimal, right? I want to write some worker, or I want to remove some. Suppose your data coming in spaces, right? So if you want to write here just employee name, if you want to remove the some space. Uh, just write same use the same data types and here why showing message because precision was very high from your uh, scale was high. Then you click in output port. You can write here the some logic like I want to remove the spaces. Then you can use the how to remove the space from your column by ltrim altrim functions, right? Trim functions, ltrim rtrim, name is incorrect actually, lt, right? Then you can write your port. I want to remove the spaces from your employee tables, correct? Then you can click on, sorry, like click on cancel button, that's like ltrim r trim. Then you can write your port name. I want, then close bracket, then click on validate option. Once your validate expression passed successfully, then click on OK, then click here, right? Your logic will be implemented. So we are using that perspective for expression transformation because if you want to remove some spaces, if you want to remove some null characters, because we are sending our data in data warehouse as a fresh data. Fresh data means without any space, without any null characters, without any special characters, right? So that time you need to write that expression logic in your expression transformation, correct? And
Right.
expression, yeah, Ritika, yeah, tell me.
No, I said yeah.
Oh, for that perspective, we are using the expression transformation. Mostly, just a common, if you can tell like layman language, that expression transformation we are using most of the mapping as a common, like a source qualifier, because a source qualifier is the common for all the mappings, right? So similarly, expression is also as a common for most of the mappings, most of the workflows mapping, right? Then then it comes we have designed means we have populated the data from the source, means pull the data from the source, and we have write some build as a business still like there is employee number, maybe some spaces, so you can remove that spaces. We have done that remove the spaces through the expression transformation. Now our next target is we need to connect to load data in our target tables. So then I go there in target. Here if you notice here there is target, I go there in target designer, right? Then if you notice here in top of tools there is target, then I go there in import info targets, right? So I click here. First I go there in database. I want to import the data in our employee data. I open here info target. If you just I want to check if any table is available here or not, right? There is employee table already there, but I want to create the fresh tables, right? To create, just write query, create tables, table name, emp, load data as. If you want to create the replica table, then you can write query like this, create table name as select star from emp, just copy this table, emp. I want to create without data, right? Then you can write here where 1 equal to 2, right? So you can create your employee emp load data table as a only structures. You're not copy complete data. If you want to create the table with complete data, then you can remove 1 equal to 2. But let me execute this one. So I created the table emp load data. I just you can cross check after you have created. Just cross check the table is created without data from, right? The table is created same structure, employee number, name, job, manager, hire date, salary, commission, and department number, right? Without data, but your table having the data, right? So I created. So you can use the this concept like 1 equal to 2. So I created that
Okay.
data. I want to load this table. Means I want to connect as a source. So first, I log in as a info target. Same password I target connected. I just checking how many table I was just search my tables info load, right? I click here, then I load these tables. This table already imported here in our mapping designers. Then I go there in mapping designers, emp load, emp data. I was created that mapping, and then I go there in left side and click here. That target table is imported already. Then I click and paste yes. Okay. Then I need to connect all port to either you create one by one. If you notice here, there all are sequences table. Then you can click like this. I click here to shift and down button, and then I link. Sorry, I want to link one by one. Let me then so that you can understand. I want to link employee number to employee number. Because I remove the with the trim function that employee number, right? So I link this one is through the employee name number. Then second column is employee name. Similarly, you can click the employee name. Last one like job, manager, hire date, whatever. So you can click like this and sorry, not just you can match one by one so that this one some critical because sometimes someone is directly clicking select all kind of and
Mhm.
incorrectly put means you suppose here is department number, right? Let
Yeah.
me. uh, is the key. Okay. So first column I put it the employee number. Second was employee name. Each one correct, right? If you want to write like this, if you want to suppose if anyone told you to just backtrack, you understand, which column is connected to which column. Suppose here is name is same, I keep each name as same, employee name, and your target is also structure is same. So that's why you relate that. But sometimes this structure is not same, right? Because as a training perspective, we are using the same structure. But in industry, there is the very big query given as a source qualifier, and that column value will store in some other columns, right? So suppose someone had told you to just provide us the logic. What is the logic behind particular that column? So you go there here and right click and click on backward, so that you can understand this column is connected from which source column. So like this, you can go there and identify the logic. The right?
Yeah.
Uh, I connected this one and I control yes. I click on control yes. Then mapping is saved. And if you notice here, the mapping is showing that this one is valid. If mapping sometimes is showing invalid, right? Your mapping is not corrected. You need to work again. You just cross check what is the issue behind this. Invalid means your error out, your mapping. You're not compiled, means error given the error. Control yes means here is just compile your mappings. As if you're talking about Java or in Oracles, you're compile that things. And a status is showing valid means your mapping successfully executed and compiled. Right? Your mapping part is done. Most of the thing, how you have done that mapping part. Now you need to work on the wherein workflow. Workflow, there is two options to create the workflow. One is automatically you can create via wizard. There is the option I'm showing you. Suppose your mapping is done, right? You go there in mapping tab. If you notice here, just create the generate workflow, right? So you can click here, workflow with non-reusable session, reusable session, workflow with reusable session. I will explain each. First, reusable session, actually, if you want to use, means that concept, whatever you write in your mapping, you want to reuse from other sessions, other workflow one also using the same mapping. Then you can use the reusable sessions. If you not if you want to extend on, means suppose you have built the logic particular one mapping one workflow, then you can always use the non-reusable sessions. Got it?
Right.
Then I click on workflow with non-reusable session, then click on next. Here, if you notice, just by default, he created this one ESQ as a source and EMP load data as a target. Infra services as integration services, right? He prefix is given. If you go there, they create the workflow, then WF will be the prefix and the session will be by default. If you go to the wizard options, right? So, it will be append the WF your mapping names. So click on next. If you notice here workflow name like this, WF, yum, load data, whatever mapping name we have created, just append the WF in before in first. And similarly, session name also will be same mapping name, and before that, yes, he'll append it, yes underscore. Okay. This one is the auto wizard option. Is a workflow successfully generated. Just click on finish. Go there in workflow. Then just disconnect or just disconnect your folder and reconnect again. If you notice here, one workflow will come here, right? Whatever, same. You can click here. I show you the automatic options, but yeah, you can create here also as a manually. I will show you the manual option later. But yeah, today I will just show you the how to generate the via wizard option generated, right? So your workflow is created. Then you go open your sessions. Session is actually just right click. Oh, sorry. Here is task option, right? Yeah. Actually, if you have created the wizard option, the session will not automatically coming here. Yeah, no issue. Here is showing the session log files automatically. If you go, if you executed your mapping workflow, then your log will be generated under this file via this name, right? Session file directly auto PM session directly automatically will come. Rest is there is no need to modify anything. DTM buffer accordingly automatically will come. Config automatic this one automatic means configuration is according to your default configuration is here, but yeah, you need, according to your business you can change, right? If you want to facing some performance issue kind of, then you can change accordingly. Next means mostly we are working on mapping things, so I click here mapping, just click on source vehicle. You need to check your connections, right? Here is given the connection Oracle. I want to source connection. Hello.
Yep.
Here is given the Oracle 1, Oracle 2, right? So Oracle 1 actually my infra source, and the Oracle 1 is the targets, right?
Okay.
Okay. So I using this one, same. And similarly, if you click here, I using the Oracle ones. Let me. If you notice here, there is the two option, bulk mode, normal mode. Suppose uh, your target having the primary key, yeah, most of the constant keeping or not dropping anything or index having, then always load the normal mode. But if you're not using anything like primary key, foreign primary key, and without indexes, then you can use the bulk mode. But yeah, we are recommended as Informatica developer using the bulk options, because there is a huge data, millions of data we are pulling from the source. That time, if you use the normal mode, it will take the processing time increase. But yeah, if you use the bulk mode, it will time will be reduced. Then you need to concept using, suppose your target table having the primary key or some constraint like index or anything, you need to drop first, then you need to then load the data in your target tables. After loading the data, you need to recreate or enable that constraint or indexes. Got it?
Okay. So how we will remove that foreign key?
Sorry, come again.
Like how will we remove the foreign key from the table if there is
Yeah,
anything?
yeah. Actually, some scheduler is providing by the company, means your industry, or if not providing your industry like any schedule, because we are developing the Informatica workflow, right? You need to some
Mhm.
scheduler tools like Controlium or Oracle or DAX or some jobs, TWS jobs somewhere is using, right? That job you are using, you inside that some option is there. If you that table already imported in particular, if you are using the DAX scheduler, Oracle DAX scheduler, so in there is option there. If you adding your workflow for scheduling, there is source and target table will be imported already, and there is option to drop the index, drop the primary key. Whatever primary key belongs to your table, it will be dropped, and after processing it will be created. And second option, if not there anything, you are not using any scheduler, you want to execute via your workflow managers, right? You just create a workload, then you can. Then that time you need to create one package in your database. Uh, Package is what package perspective. Package will do the disable the index during the process. That package we call in your mapping here, just to import the mapping your procedures. This one is a stored procedure, right? This one is stored procedures. The procedure we call here, and put your employee tables, whatever table having the index, and it will during the processes just write the pre-processes. Here is the pre-post options, right? The preload which will be dropped, and the post load it will be enables. So via the Oracle the package, you can do that activity. But yeah, right now most of the industry using the smart tools like DAC and other things. There is option there. Just click on one click. You can drop that indexes, and after processing you can enable. But yeah, as a manual things, you can create the package, Oracle package. Under package, the logic will be built like disable the index during the process, will not dropping, only disable and enable with the alter command.
Okay.
Got it? Ritika, any doubt here?
No.
I will explain this concept also if you want to suppose, because most of the industry not using the tools, market tool, is supposed to use the your whatever we have. So we have the Oracle, we have the Informatica, then we write the package. Inside the package, we write the some command. Via alter command, we disable or enables, right? So with that alters things, we build in inside our package, and that package we call in Informatica to disable. We just as a parameter we are using the table names, and second thing is pre and post. Two parameter will pass. If you are using the going to disable, then uh, table name parameter is pre, and if you want to enable, then you want to post pass keyword, that table name and the post session path. Got it?
Okay.
I'm going there in here. Bulk option I explain you. Second option is going insert, tile insert, update as update. Suppose you are using the update static, then you can use the update as update. Or you have your logic is clear. Ki I need to insert only, then you can click on insert, right? So I remove the update as update. Then here is delete option. If you want to any things you want to delete, then you can use the delete. Either you can remove. My logic is I want to truncate always before loading. I use the truncate options, right? Then click on applies. Okay. Then save. Now I start the, suppose you want to execute, then start the workflow. It will be start and monitor in workflow monitors. Here your workflow is started. You can view it's running or not. If you notice here, SQEMP, there is the 14 data is load means read uh, from your source tables, right? And there is the column applied role and affected role is showing your count of record in source and target. Rejected role, suppose if uh, any issue during the processes, your row is rejected, that count of record will come here. And the throughput, that one is the most important thing. If you during the processing time things, if throughput is less one to kind of, then you need to monitor. Suppose if any business assigned to you, you just monitor that mapping workflow, why it's showing the throughput less. So you need to That one is using mostly for the performance things. If throughput is less, means your query is not built properly in correct way it was built. So you need to correct that one. That's it. Okay. Now your data is loaded in your table. Just cross check. This one is the workflow monitor, right? Already I was explained that one. Workflow monitor will always you can monitor, you can view that workflow things, how many tables, how many how many record work processes inside your workflow. You can monitor that your workflows, right? So I created that workflow and mapping. This one is session. You can right click here. How to monitor? Right, if you see the get session properties, so you can view like this. So go there in database. I was created that one without data. If you see here, it was loaded, right? 14 records it was loaded. Got it?
Yep.
Yeah. If you want to filter out some record, right? I just show you. I want to load the only uh, here 20 department number, right? You go there, source filters, right? Department number equal to 20, right? Save and open in mapping. Once you be any change in it, you need to refresh and everything. Refresh mapping, we can refresh mapping and just save. Okay. Then right click and start workflow. There is two options. If you notice here, there is two options: start workflow and start workflow advanced, right? So first,
Right.
start workflow advanced is actually showing the parameter. If you are using some parameter, then you can use. But yeah, start workflow is if not using any parameter, then you click on start workflow. I again use. Now my thought is data will be loaded only for 20 department number, right? Source is info source. Sorry. Yeah. There is total 14 record. If you notice, there are total 14 record. But now my requirement is I will load where dpt no equal to 20. I to means 5 record will loaded in our target. I go there in yeah. If you notice here, I filter 5 records. So only 5 record is read and 5 record is loaded. Got it?
Yeah.
So this one is actually kind of concept you can use and load. This one is a simple mapping. I show you how to load the data. Means just pull the SQL qualifier employee table and use the expression transformation and link your expression transformation to target tables, right? And then load the data in your target. Go there, just validate once you're loaded. I go there so that everything in sync. Yeah, only 5 records loaded. Why previous record is deleted? Because I using inside in Informatica the truncate option. If you notice here, I go there in target. Using the option is truncate target options, right? It will be truncated always before load.
Okay.
Okay.